So there's been a lot of rumors about a potential 15th present in the Winterfest Lodge, part of the Winterfest presents and stuff like that, and it got me a little bit curious. So today, guys, we're going to do a little bit of myth busting and stuff like that, taking a look at clues in game, taking a look at leaked files. In fact, we're going to be looking at a lot of leaked files and trying to figure out, is there a 15th present? Was there a scrapped 15th present that was meant to be in the game but eventually got scrapped? Maybe it's coming later. There's a lot of interesting stuff here, so I think you guys will really enjoy this video, and you'll probably find it helpful because it will shed more light on if there's even any legitimacy to this 15th present rumor. So with that being said, guys, hit that subscribe button down below if you are new to the channel for more fun videos like this, taking a look at skins in game, news for the game, and more. And on top of that, if you want to help support me, you can do so by using code TheLlamaSir in the item shop. I get a bit back from those purchases, it helps support the channel, and I appreciate it a ton. Like seriously, if you support me, you're an awesome person. But yeah, guys, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first of all, going over the basics before we get into like the in-game files and stuff like that, looking at potential new items and things, let's just go over the overview of the lodge again right here very quick. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with this and you've probably opened up all of your presents. Like for example right here, if we go into the lodge, you can see that there is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 presents on the left side, 11 including Woolly Ranger, wait, that's not right, 11 including Woolly Warrior, which I showed you guys how to get, and then there's also 3 over here, the 2 Star Wars ones, and then the holiday tree skin in the back, which was another fairly secret one. So that's 14 presents total, but there's been rumor of a 15th present. Now, is there anything about that in the files? Is there any potential stuff that's maybe coming at a later date? Well, that's what I want to take a look at right here. But yeah, guys, let's just go ahead and jump into it like with some leaked info and stuff like that. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is actually a potential item that was maybe meant to be released and definitely could still be released, but that item is the Polar Poleaxe. Now this item, as I'm making this video, has not been in the game as of yet, but obviously as you can tell, and if you've seen this before, it is a holiday themed item, and we are already pretty much past the holidays. I mean, this video is going up past New Year's by almost a week, and this pickaxe has not come into the game yet, either in the item shop or as a reward or as a present. So like, why is that the case? Could it be a 15th item that's going to be coming out soon? It's a little bit confusing, especially when you take a look at the fact of what set this pickaxe is a part of. This one is actually a part of the Frosty Flights set as far as I'm aware. Now the Frosty Flights set is very interesting because Globe Shaker is the main outfit for that set, which obviously already released in the item shop, but if this pickaxe was meant to go with this skin, why wouldn't it release alongside that skin? Well guys, that could be because it's meant to be that extra reward, maybe that 15th reward or 15th present. I mean, even right now, if you take a look at the Winterfest challenges, like for example, the Snowy Pickaxe is a part of the Winter Wonderland set, which is the same set that the skin Glimmer is a part of, which is an item shop skin. So again, rewards can be parts of the same sets as skins that release in the item shop, which could be what this was meant for. So far we know that there's a potential item that could have been the 15th present. That's not confirmation that there is in fact a 15th present yet, so let's keep looking here through some leaked files that were found and stuff like that. So yeah guys, there's actually a lot of interesting things about Winterfest and the Winterfest Lodge that aren't actually seeable or weren't actually used in the final version of the Winterfest Lodge. Like for example, here is just something that's kind of weird. In the file game/environment/frontend/material/cozy, cozy being one of the folders that apparently a bunch of, you know, the Winterfest Lodge stuff is held in, there's this thing called M Album Cover Cozy, which as you can see, very interestingly, is the music pack for the OG remix, which is kind of odd, right? Now, it's definitely possible this is just a placeholder, but again, what is that cozy for, and why would it need a placeholder image of the OG remix music? Because I'm pretty sure that's not for the Merry Chipmas, or what's the other one that you can get? The Crackdown music pack, that's right. I don't think it's for either of those because the name is also called Cozy, so yeah, it doesn't relate to those, but it could maybe just be the music for the lodge itself, but then why would it need a music pack? Either way, it's confusing, okay? That's just an example, but let's get into it with some of the, you know, like more interesting stuff. Like this I found particularly interesting, and unfortunately there's no like specific image of it or things like that. There's just file names to go off of, but that is the different discoverables. Like obviously the bird cuckoo is the discoverable like cuckoo bird that you click on and it makes that sound. Also you've got like the banana, which, you know, gets Peely to rise up. There's even a specific discoverable that says Peely rises and stuff like that. However, there's one discoverable that doesn't make any sense, and that is Rubber Ducky, specifically Winterfest Rubber Ducky 1. And on top of that discoverable duck hue. That's very, very interesting. Obviously, we can gather from the other discoverables that this was meant to be something you can interact with, but if you take a look in the lodge, as far as I'm aware, there is no rubber ducky to interact with. Not from the rewards, not from the challenges, not from any of the secret stuff, so that's very peculiar. That could be a potential interactable item that was meant to be for the 15th present that you would find around the Winterfest lodge. But again, there doesn't seem to be anything about that in the lodge right now. So let's move on here, but definitely keep that in mind. But after that then, guys, there's also potential for other rewards besides like the Polar Poleaxe that were recently found in the files. However, these aren't anything crazy, but they still could definitely, you know, reference something, and basically these are banners. So apparently within like the Winterfest folder, there are other banners that we haven't seen in game so far or seen as rewards in Fortnite, because so far for Winterfest we've gotten 4 banners, the 2 from the Winterfest lodge, and real quick taking a look at the Winterfest lodge, you can see them behind the chair on like little banners since they're, well, banners. But yeah, take note of those 2, and then also within the challenges are 2 other ones as you can see right here. So yeah, just keep those in mind because there's actually other banners, and the first of which is like this one right here, which apparently is called Sigil, if I'm pronouncing that right, and I don't think I've ever seen this banner before, and correct me if I'm wrong down below in the comments, but personally I've never seen this one, and it's definitely very like peculiar because it appears to have like those same symbols or similar symbols to like Kevin the Cube's symbols, which is very weird. How does that fit into Winterfest, and why would it be inside of the Winterfest folder? Well, we don't exactly know. It's definitely pretty, you know, peculiar again. And on top of that, guys, there's also other banners here like this one right here, which is, you know, a llama banner, which obviously is pretty interesting there, and it also looks to be maybe the same type of llama that is like, you know, the decorations for the holidays that have been around the map a bit here and there. You know, that sort of like, how would you explain it? I'll just put up a picture from like Creative of what I'm talking about, but it appears to be similar to that, which would definitely fit in with Winterfest and this event and things. So could that one have been the potential 15th present? On top of that, there's also a turtle one, which doesn't really fit in with all of this stuff, but it's for sure interesting. Not sure why they would add a turtle, but again, apparently this one's within the Winterfest files as well. So overall, it's interesting. Why would they add these in but not had a way to get them, unless there were plans to add them as like maybe a secret present or things like that? Definitely something to keep in mind, that's for sure. But keeping it going here, let's take a look at some more like file names and stuff like that, because there are some interesting files that have to do mainly with the sounds that the presents would make when you went to open them. As you guys likely remember, when you would go to open a present, there was a button you could press to actually shake the present and it would make a sound. So maybe looking at something like that would give us a clue as to if there's another present or something. So yeah, guys, basically there's a lot of sounds for the shaking animation, and like you can see a large list of them right here. I mean, you've got one that says beep, boogie, cat, clap, a bunch of ones that say generic shake, ninja dance, old game, stuff like that. There's a lot of these, and like trying to count them up, I'd say there's maybe around like 18 of them. And then you've also got like the generic shake ones, and those go up to like 20. So yeah, there's a lot of these sounds. Now that could definitely mean that there was planned to be another present as well, and some of these sounds would be used for those, but it's a little bit hard to tell which sounds were used and which weren't, simply judging by these names, especially when it says like generic shake. We don't really know what that sounds like, so it is difficult to tell, but the fact that there's so many is, you know, another thing that's sort of odd. Could mean nothing, but could also mean something. But with all of that being said, guys, where would you even go in the Winterfest lodge in order to potentially find one of these, or where would they have maybe hidden one? Well, there's actually some interesting stuff that we don't really get to see normally, or that you probably never noticed. And what I'm talking about here is when you actually enter the lodge, and when it does that animation of like zooming in, it goes by really fast, but if you pause it at specific moments, you will see that there's actually other objects in the lodge that we don't usually get to see, or that most people would never even notice in the first place. Like just for example here, when you first go to zoom into the lodge, you can see that there's actually snowflakes outside of it. And as we know, the snowflakes were part of a challenge, so maybe there was some way to exit the lodge and click on those snowflakes, stuff like that, you know? And then keeping it going here, when you zoom in a little farther, you can actually see that there's a lamp and also a little version of Crackshot standing in the window, which again is something that, you know, you really don't notice when it's just flying by. This is really only like 1 or 2 frames that you're able to see this, which again is interesting that they would put in the work to add those details when you you can't even see them. I mean, you can, but it's like near impossible to catch them normally. On top of that, once you actually enter inside of the cabin, you can see what looks to be a piano over here on the right side. I think that's a piano, right? I mean, it's a little bit hard to tell, but it seems to be the right shape. But again, why is it over here if we can't even see it? If we can't turn around enough to see that piano, or at least turn around currently. So with that being said, maybe there was meant to be a way, or maybe in the future there'd be a way to get on over to that piano and play it for a special reward. On top of that, there's also one of those llamas we talked about. I forgot this was over here, but yeah, one of those llama decorations. So if you were able to maybe click on that somehow, could you get that special banner, the one with the llama on it? Would that be what it was meant for? I think that would make a lot of sense. There's also this picture on the wall, which I'm pretty sure actually seems to be that one loading screen that we got in the past. I think it's this loading screen right here. Again, very peculiar that it would be over here because you cannot see it normally. But again, guys, overall, there's just a lot of stuff in here that could have been meant, or could maybe still be meant, to hold a secret item. But as of right now, we don't exactly know. And like right as of right now, that's a lot to say, but currently there's no 15th present. Again, though, there's weird things that point towards there potentially being one. Again, all of the stuff we went over in this video. So I'm thinking that most likely these are either leftovers of scrapped potential extra presents. I don't think they'd add one, you know, with the remainder of the lodge. I mean, we know the Winterfest challenges are going to be over soon. We don't know how long the lodge is going to last. So maybe they'll add something with the piano that you'll be able to look over there and get an extra item. But as of right now, it's not looking like there's officially a 15th present. So yeah, guys, there's all of the info on that stuff, on that rumor, diving into it and helping you guys out, helping you guys figure it out a bit more. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say, so leave a comment down below. And also, guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more fun videos like this coming out in the near future. And you can also check out some of my previous videos, such as on the left, going over all of the details about the overtime challenges, which are coming up soon. And below that, some other fun videos I'm sure you'll enjoy. But again, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one.